It's your boy Rodney Perry. I'm bringing you an evolutionary experience. Hey, it's game.
Hi, this is India with Designer Accessory Adoption. Thanks for watching this video and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you for giving my video a chance and clicking play. And if you are returning, a special thank you to you for watching one of my previous videos and coming back for another one. Today today's topic will be over. I almost forgot. What did I say it was going to be over today? Yes, what should you look for when you're looking to purchase pre-owned? And pretty much what I mean by that is when you have found that item that you were looking for, whether that's a specific style or something just catches your eye as you're scrolling through the lovely internet on your favorite website or any other website. What information are you looking for before you hit purchase? Pretty much like what should you be paying attention to is where I'm going with this. And so I decided to pull a lovely item of eye candy out for you. This is a Rebecca Minkoff zipper. I don't remember what's the name of this, mini 5-zip. So this one's in a beautiful lilac color. Obviously, you see the tag is on it. So if you're interested in seeing more product photos about this, I will list out. I will leave a link to this item that will show you more photos as well as description and pricing in my description down below. So decided to have a little eye candy since several of these videos have not, to give you something to stare at. So first up, if you see me looking over here as a disclaimer, it's just because my laptop is over there and I have my notes typed out. So I just want to make sure that I am getting out all of the information that I plan on talking about during this video. So first up is going to be looking at the product description. First off, before I even go further into the product description topic, resellers, consignment stores, even individual sellers they probably are less likely to do this, but companies usually you'll see where they have a key source with the descriptions, or when they say like excellent, pristine, so on and so forth, they usually have more information that they provide to kind of give you a better idea of what they mean by pretty much a key. So you know what grade A means, grade B means, grade C means, so forth. Or like I use those terminologies like excellent, pristine, giftable, very good, fair. All of those are items you will see from companies, words or descriptors you will see from companies to help describe the condition of the item. So that way it makes it more repeatable as far as what someone considers excellent. So that way it's not in the person who's assessing it, but it's a standard. Pretty much is what they're doing there, is to make it standardized so you know what to expect. So it's not subjective. So you're taking that part out, right? Opinion out, really. So I will stop rambling about that. So with this one, I'll talk about that a little bit. So in this case, this would be an example of something that is brand new because it still has the tags attached. And this would be considered pretty much excellent condition because there are no signs of wear. It still has the tags attached and so on. So what you're going to be looking for there is first about the condition and then determining what that condition is and understanding what that means based off of the kind of the guidelines that seller has. In addition to that, you want to make sure that you're reading through, because the description will also tell you either design features, whether there's zippers on the front, there's pockets on the inside, whether it's leather, whether it has a cloth interior and things like that. In addition to that, you will see more details, and every store has their description area or their products not categorized, but like organized differently. So if you see multiple tabs, or if you have to scroll up to see more details down below, you just want to make sure that you're taking your time and you're looking at all of the information and you're reading it to make sure you understand. So when you start seeing more information about the description, you'll see where it will say maybe corner wear. And corner wear is going to refer to, you won't see any on this bag because it's brand new, but I'm just going to get this closer so you can get a visual. Corner wear is going to be this area here. Or if you see cracked glazing, glazing is referring to, you see this dark color? that is around this side piece here, that is considered glazing. So when they're saying cornerware, glazing, scratches on hardware, this is what they're talking about. Not scratches on hardware, but glazing would be this piece here, cornerware will be down here. And you want to make sure you're understanding kind of where you're going to see those issues. In addition to that, they should also couple it and pair that with photographs, so that way you can get a close-up view on what they're actually describing, so you can get a better idea of how bad that cornerware is, or how bad is the glazing cracking and things like that. In addition to that, like I said, with hardware, I'll put this closer. So they may say scratches on hardware. So you want to pay attention to the photos when you see hardware photos close up like this, so you can see how bad that scratching is. So that's just a few samples. There's a lot of things you can check into, and I actually am planning on doing another more detailed video so we can dive into that topic a little bit further, but that at least will help you get started. So next up is going to be photos, like I mentioned. So when you're looking at this description, you should see a lot of photos. Now, there are some websites, I won't name names, I have purchased from them before, and they are pretty well known for not taking great photos. I still even shop, they're on their website now, but you know, you have to take that with a grain of salt and just be very diligent to ask questions. That's what I've learned to do, and really read the descriptions to make sure you fully understand the condition of the item if the photos are not that great. I would not suggest purchasing an item from a seller whose photos are not that great. If it's a well-known company, you should be able to reach out to them. Also, if it's a private seller, you should be able to reach out to them and ask them for more photos, but just make sure if they say that there's cornerware, but from the photos there's no close-up, so you really can't even see what the cornerware is, ask. And I also have another video about that one coming up soon, so definitely come back, subscribe so you can get notifications, and that video will be coming up soon as well, and you can see more information about that. So I won't go into too much detail about it on this video. So like I mentioned, it's going to be looking at the photos. So you want to look at the photos, should include the front side of the item, the sides of it. You will also see corners included in the video. You just really want to make sure that you see a lot of photos, close-up of the hardware. You also want to make sure that there's two things you're looking for with close-up of the hardware, and that's going to be the condition. In addition to that, you should also see detailed photos where you see how you have the Rebecca Minkoff. You probably can't see it that well, but there's engraving. You want to see that, because guess what? Those are signs that you can use to make sure your item is authentic. If you're looking at this and Rebecca Minkoff is not spelled correctly, no, it's not real. They should know how to spell their own name. So that's some of the things that you're looking for. So when you see hardware stamping like this, stamping on the inside, I was just trying to see if there's like a stamping on the interior, like a little leather tab, and this item is stuffed. So I don't see anything, but that's examples of what you're looking for in your description, in the photos. So you want to make sure you're seeing that so you can get a better ideas of really what the condition is of the item, as well as do some pre-authentication work. In addition to that, you want to make sure that if there's a designer you're looking for, and they're known for having a stamping of where it's made in addition to a serial number, you want to look up that serial number and make sure that the serial number that's used. So first off, you have to understand the coding. Sometimes, like Louis Vuitton will use kind of this alternating pattern with letters and numbers, and the combo of like the first letter and all of that kind of stuff. I won't go into all of those details, but pretty much like the combo, you want to understand what those serial numbers mean, how to decipher the serial numbers, because that will give you the date and the month and the year that the handbag was made. And so if there's a handbag that you're looking for on the pre-owned market and it says 1996, but this handbag, that's a bad example. If the handbag code says like 2008, let's go with that, and the handbag was not made until 2012, that's probably not a good example either, but you get what I mean. Where whatever that date code is saying, you want to make sure that it actually is a year that the handbag was produced. In addition to that, you want to make sure that if it's an item that is no longer being made, that date code still matches, and that if they stop making a handbag, this is where that example would come in handy. If that handbag is no longer being made after 2008 and you see a date code that says 2012, stop right there, move on to something else, because they're pretty much is not real. So that's what I wanted to get at with the date code, but that's what you want to make sure that you're paying attention to, and you're seeing the engraving, things like that, so you can get as much detail as you possibly can before you give somebody your hard-earned money. Next up is going to be the questions to ask. So when you're looking over the description, hopefully that seller is being as detailed as possible. Sometimes people leave off things, or a individual seller that is not doing this on a regular basis is not as detailed as they should be, because they just don't know any better. So if you are not seeing any close-ups, you're just seeing stock photos, for example, you need to ask for more photos before you give that person your number. In addition to that, some other general questions to ask is to make sure that there are no missing holes. There are no holes. Also, evidence of what I want to get into there is making sure that all of the hardware is functioning, like the zipper. If it was known to come with a lock, but you don't see any photos with a lock, clarifying whether there's a lock that comes with it if it's not listed in the description. Also, if there's any odors. I know that that's something that individual sellers, I will say, will sometimes forget to mention. And so you want to specifically ask that and not assume because they didn't say there was an odor that there isn't one. So those are things that are a few questions that you want to ask. And this is probably the third time I'm going to say this, but I'm planning on doing another video on that. So check me out later and I'll have that one up. I can't tell you when because I haven't recorded it yet, but that is in the pipeline to get recorded and uploaded. So keep watching my channel. Subscribe. That'll be a reason why you want to subscribe. So definitely check me out later and get those tips as well in a detailed video about questions to ask. Next up is going to be, I already talked about questions to ask and researching the date code. So we're on the last one, which is going to be review the photos of the bag with a real item. So not saying that the listing is fake, but if you're able to pull up photos from a blogger, for example, and they're doing like a handbag review or something of that nature, or some people also through like Purse Blog, through private Facebook groups, elsewhere, they will have people that are part of, either follow that blogger or are part of that group, in whether that's Facebook or a private chat room or something like that, that are well versed with a designer and can help you authenticate. So make sure you're comparing photos so you can just do your little homework, your research, and make sure that you're doing your due diligence before you give somebody your money. So you want to make sure that you're comparing those photos, those descriptors, even if you don't see an exact photo of the style you're looking for. A lot of times people will provide descriptions for the reason why a handbag is authentic or another handbag from that designer is fake. And you want to keep that in mind and compare that to your listing so you can do a little bit of light skills detective work to make sure it sounds right. Especially like if someone mentions, for example, X designer didn't use cloth interior until 2012, right, for example, or they stopped using it in a certain year, but you see that this handbag fits within the window that they're saying that they stopped using it, then that's a sign that that item is not real. But you know, yeah, I'll say that. That's just an example. So just to give an example. So something like that could help give you some leeway not leeway, but pretty much give you some indicators to say, that's a red flag. I don't feel comfortable. Or let me just verify, let me check. Sometimes people are wrong. Sometimes people use hard and fast rules that are no longer hard and fast rules. So take things with a grain of salt. That's the reason why I was pausing, because I was trying to figure out if I wanted to go into more detail about things like that. But yeah, just do your research. Make sure you're not just checking with one source, but you're checking with multiple. and doing the best that you actually can to authenticate your item. There are companies that will take your listing that you're looking at and authenticate from. You'll pay them a service and they'll authenticate without you having to pay money to the seller first. And they may also come back and say, either we need more details, we need this, this, and this. And then that way that gives you a hint to what you should also, a guideline actually, to what you should reach out to your seller and ask them about. So that way you can get those answers. Oh, here's a leather tab. See? I randomly found it. It's dark though, so you probably can't see it. But like the markings there, making sure that they are uniform, make sure that the correct font is being used and it just doesn't completely look off. You want to make sure you're doing things like that when you're looking at the product photos, and you should see close-ups of those. So that's an example of something you should see a close-up of. So if you have any other questions, definitely leave those in the comments down below. I really enjoy having conversations with you all. Thank you. Also, a quick plug here to like, share, and subscribe. I think I've asked you to subscribe a couple of times because I have some videos coming up if you're interested in those topics that you will want to make sure that you receive a notification for. Also, I typically load videos every Wednesday as well as every other Saturday. Something popped up on my screen. On topics related to fashion, luxury, contemporary brands, more so focused on the pre-owned market, but I do share unboxings when I want to from time to time. Also product reviews as well as lifestyle videos and fashion related opinion topics. So if you're interested in any of those things, definitely consider subscribing for the 50th time. Thank you so much for spending a little portion of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you again soon with another video. Have a good day. Bye.